Friends, you'll address her properly. You can kiss my foot. Mr. Rickard, you're out of order.
FBI, we are asking you to investigate this council. Please look into this council, how they award contracts, the bid process, how they use their positions to benefit their friends and themselves, how they use their positions to attack residents and critics and neighbors and business competition. FBI, will you please look into this?
And I welcome the FBI here. If you notice, Mr. Thompson, with his plea for the FBI and his watchdog group, this city runs the cleanest in this whole county. I guarantee
He was served a federal subpoena this morning.
We did receive a subpoena this morning, and we're going to cooperate 100% with the subpoena.
And most of you who were involved up here, you gaslighted me. You tried to say I was crazy. And now we know that that's not true. And there's a lot of other issues I've been asking about as well.
So I have been talking about $8.7 million that is missing from the county. And I said that the media haven't covered it. To the best of my knowledge, it hasn't been investigated. But then again, how would I know? But it's interesting that the people who might be involved in an investigation endorsed Griff Griffitts. All right. Who is a county commissioner running for state representative. And he's running for a state representative seat that is currently held by Jay Trumbull. Jay Trumbull terms out. Okay, so this seat, this state representative seat, is open, and there are two people running for it. By the way, I'm wearing earbuds for the first time, hoping to do away with any kind of feedback, audio feedback and stuff like that. So will you give me a thumbs up? I see the comments if the audio is good. I see that the video is not so good, so I'm going to fix the. All right, there. Now we're back in focus. So everybody here is okay. I'm going to wait until I see that because I've got some audio I'm going to play for you today. Okay, I guess you can hear okay. Oh my. No, they're not hearing aids, even though I became a senior citizen last week. It's happened. All right, so let me get to this because I got a lot of amazing things to show you tonight. This is not going away. This probably will become, I think it's got to be a news story at some point. And if it's not a news story, I hope that enough of you will share the evidence that I show you so that people know that there's actually at least $8.7 million missing from the Builder Services Fund at Bay County. And there's more missing than that. I'm only talking about the Building Service Fund. Now, how do I know this? Well, because the county has taken the money and moved it and won't say where it went. So the people who paid that money, the local contractors who pay a fee that the county puts into a builder services fee that goes to training and building services, that goes to equipment and stuff like that, they took it out. And that's illegal to use it anywhere but there. Now, the way it was found is because these people who were robbed, the contractors, they sued the county. There's an ongoing class action lawsuit right now. And they had a forensic audit done that showed that at least $8.7 million is missing. And I said that nobody has asked Griff Griffitts about this. He was the chairman on the county commission when this happened. Let me show you this real quick. This is from a News Herald article on September 18th, 2019, just almost 1 year after the hurricane. So this is what Griff said that got a bunch of attention. Look at that. So this was in a News Herald article on September 18, 2019. Griffitts added that the county also expects to borrow from itself to get additional money. The Retail Water Fund and the Builder Services Fund have a lot of money in those accounts right now, he said. We will place an IOU in those accounts if we need to. That's illegal. You can't do it. Not even for a good cause, you can't do it. So somebody actually did ask him about it, and he answered about a month ago. And it was on July 14 at the Lynn Haven candidate forum, and Ryan Scray asked about the $8.7 million and what they would do about it in the future. And I'm going to show you Griff's answer. I'm also going to tell you why his answer is dishonest as all get out. You're not going to believe it. First, though, let's take care of this. And I want to remind you, I went to a debate yesterday and I watched the school board debate, and Francis Keys Gordon, who I've known for about a dozen years and who I hope wins, and who did pay for advertising, so that you know, she did fantastic. If she's the only conservative in the race, and here she is. If you're fed up with parents being kept out of the loop in our schools, political nonsense crowding out basic education, and Bay District Schools, with its $500 million budget, spending too much money on contractors and consultants instead of on the students themselves, then vote for Francis Keys Gordon for school board on or before August 23rd.
Hand caught in the cookie jar? Sometimes bad habits continue even into adulthood. I'm El Saline, 850-215-0628. Let me help you.
All right, let's take a look at this video I put together showing Griff being asked about the missing money last month and his answer. This is on my Facebook page right now. I want to play it first, and then I'll read to you more about it.
Mr. Griffitts.
Yeah, another question I appreciate being directed towards me. I will tell you that don't believe everything you read online. With a lawsuit, there's two sides to every story, right? I encourage you to get on the Bay County Clerk of Court's website. Every audit from Bay County is on that website. It's done by Carr, Riggs & Ingrams, one of the largest accounting firms in the southeastern United States. They didn't find an $8 million misappropriation, so I'd encourage you to get on there and check that out and not believe everything you read. We have a very, very fiscally sound county. We borrowed $300 million after the hurricane and didn't raise a single tax on the citizens of Bay County. We're still the 7th lowest property tax in the state. That's something I'm pretty proud of. So for us to be accused of fiscal misappropriation is absolutely hogwash. I encourage you to really do your homework. Go talk to the clerk of court. Come to the county offices. Ask them to see the paperwork. I promise you, you won't find that. Thank you.
You have additional time if you'd like it.
All right. Thank you.
I think things like this happen because I think people are in politics for the wrong reason. I think that people are handpicked in our district, and I think, unfortunately, typically people don't have true campaigns. So from day one, my goal was to campaign like there was no tomorrow, because I knew what I was facing as an underdog candidate. And, you know, the hopeless romantic in me likes to think that sometimes people come into politics with the right reasons and with a heart. But I think there is tons of local corruption. And I think if we're going to sit here and say there's not, I think we are fooling ourselves. That's the reason I'm running. Because when I was a volunteer with the Republican Party here, I heard over and over, every door I knocked on, there was deep-rooted, deep-seated corruption in this district. You need outsiders to break up the corruption. You need people who are not born and bred into the system to come in and apologetically shake things up. No one ever came to me and told me it was my turn to run for office or I needed to run. I felt it in my heart, and I saw the people of Bay County wanting someone that would come in here unapologetically and shake it up. And you have to ask the hard questions. We don't need people who are going to say yes to everything. We need people who are going to ask questions, fight, and unapologetically put the people of Bay County first.
Thank you.
All right. So that was what was said. Now I want to read to you. See if I can get this right. I want to read to you what I wrote, okay, on that post. If I can figure this out. It's almost like I don't go on Facebook very often. All right, let's see if I can get, I want to because I really want to share with you the actual all right, so I changed my system up a little bit. And clearly I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so here's what I wrote about this. The nickname he has acquired is Grifter, right? Griff Griffitts actually did answer a question last month about the missing $8.7 million during the Lynn Haven candidate forum. All right, we're still good. I'm going to show that video again at the end of tonight's show. Nobody will say where the missing money went from the Builder Services Fund, according to a forensic audit in an ongoing lawsuit against Bay County. Griffitts was the chairman at the time. Almost a year after Hurricane Michael, he told the News Herald that they would take the money and leave an IOU if necessary. That was on September 19th, 2019. Griffitts says that the accounting firm, Carr, Riggs, and Ingram, confirmed that Bay County is on the level. That's the accounting firm used by several local governments. It's owned by Bill Carr, a hotel developer who agreed to trade a road for a vote with former Panama City Mayor Mike Pay-to-Play Thomas, Panama City Beach Mayor, during a vote at the Panama City Beach City Council meeting back on September of 2018. I'm going to show you that video because Griffitts' fellow county commissioner, Robert Carroll, represented Bill Carr, who owns the accounting firm that Griff just mentioned, as the engineer of record for the hotel development across the street from Mayor Mike Thomas's diner. Nearly 2 years after that fateful city council meeting in 2017, well, it would have actually been 2.5 years, or nearly 3 years. The city of Panama City Beach was issued a federal subpoena for public corruption. The investigation is ongoing. That subpoena was in August of 2020. If the people of Bay County want to strike a blow against massive public corruption, they'll vote for Brian Cloudis. This is the biggest cover-up, this $8.7 million that's missing from the Builder Services Fund. It is the biggest cover-up in Bay County that I know of. Please share this post and help me spread the word because local news outlets are ignoring it. Now let's take a look at some of the comments because they are great. So Miss Sarah Moon points this out. A forensic audit is a little more thorough than an annual state mandated audit. But, quote, with a lawsuit, there's two sides to every story, end quote, now that the county commission is the defendant while Griff Griffitts was the chairman at the time. Larry Mixon says, so I guess the bed tax slush fund is no longer enough. And, of course, great comments there. Feed me. And it's never enough. But this is what's super interesting. Are you ready for this? The accounting firm that Griff Griffitts referenced actually wrote an article about forensic audits versus annual audits. Griff said that the accounting firm, Carr, Riggs, and Ingram, did not find any problems at all. They're on the level, right? They're on the level. Well, that's not what annual audits do. Only 4% of the time do they ever find corruption. And probably less than that when the owner of the accounting firm is also a hotel developer that's very tied in with the politicians. Okay. So, quote, Ms. Sarah Moon says, what if the county's accounting firm that Griff referenced told us on the World Wide Web that annual audits are not the same as forensic audits. 2, what if Carr, Riggs, and Ingram published an article online that said, quote, annual audits typically only detect approximately 4% of all frauds? And 3, would Commissioner Griffitts say, don't believe everything you read online? Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at that audit. I'm going to get out of this now. And we're going to take a look at the article written by Carr, Riggs, and Ingram that Griff Griffitts mentioned as, proof that they're on the level. All right, this is from his accountant, from the county's accounting firm, Carr, Riggs, and Ingram. Forensic audits versus annual audits, taking a proactive approach to protecting your business or your government. Written in February of 2020. Forensic audits seem to be a buzzword that is circling around in today's business environment. We need a forensic audit. I say that all the time. Why didn't our annual audit catch this? Are some common phrases that forensic and fraud audit professionals hear quite often. There are also many misconceptions surrounding forensic audits and how they differ from the organization's annual audit. To answer these questions, we need to address what a forensic audit is not. So I don't want to look at that so much. I want to look at what an annual audit is not. Okay. Well, I guess we can look at it's going to be in that part of the article. Let's start with the fact that a forensic audit is not actually an audit. An audit essentially provides assurance that the balances reported on the financial statements are materially correct. A common misconception is that audits verify 100% of the balances and transactions within the financial statements. This is not actually true, as audits often only consider material balances, and generally audits only look at a sample of transactions. So Carr, Riggs, and Ingram may not have even looked at the business services fund. They only look at a fraction of the material. Another misconception with audits is that they are geared to detect and prevent fraud. This way of thinking is also not correct, Griff, but you know that. You were being deceitful. According to the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, annual audits typically only detect about 4% of all frauds. This does not mean that your annual audit is not worthwhile, as it does serve a valuable purpose, just a different purpose than is usually considered. Annual audits assure lenders, investors, or the public of your financial position. To put it another way, your annual audit is similar to you going to your primary doctor on a yearly or regular basis for a physical or well check. A forensic audit is akin to getting a specific medical test to ensure there is nothing amiss, like enduring a CT scan. All right, so Griff knew that he was comparing apples and semi-trucks. So he mentioned Carr, Riggs, and Ingram, the accounting firm, in the video, which I will show that short video again in a little bit for those that are just with us that missed Griff's answer about the missing money. But I'm going to show you a video right now that is incredible. Bill Carr, who owns Carr, Riggs, and Ingram, is also a hotel developer. Carr, Riggs, and Ingram is also, surprise, the accounting firm for Panama City Beach. And in 2018, Mayor Mike Thomas, who has a diner right across the street from the Gulf, on the Gulf side, there is a gigantic hotel being built by Bill Carr of Carr, Riggs, and Ingram. And Mayor Mike Thomas traded with him during a vote, highly illegal, traded with him a road. They would build a road, and he would give them the vote they need, the deciding vote they need, for the height incentive they wanted. You're not going to believe your eyes. The video I'm going to show you of the deal made between the former mayor of Panama City Beach and the hotel developer, Bill Carr, who owns Carr, Riggs, and Ingram, that does the annual audits that I just showed you. Even Carr, Riggs, and Ingram says do not do what Griff Griffitts said that they do. An annual audit is not a forensic audit, although there was a forensic audit done on the county, and there's $8.7 million missing, Sheriff. There's $8.7 million missing, FBI. There's $8.7 million missing, State Attorney Larry Bassford, FDLE, whoever gives a flip, okay? And it should be addressed before the election, because the chairman at the time is a candidate running for state office. I'm going to show you this video of the trade that was made in a council meeting between former Mayor Mike Thomas and developer Bill Carr's company right after this. Don't let back pain and neck pain get you down. Find relief at Brown Chiropractic Center on St. Andrews Boulevard in Panama City. Dr. Sherry Brown helps people heal naturally with chiropractic adjustments and deep tissue massage. Call 769-3777. It's a hot time in Florida, and my friend Ryan could make sure your air conditioning is running at peak efficiency. He could even install a new one, built to a higher standard, American standard. Find out more at PCAirrepair.com. All right, I'm going to show you this incredible video. This is the hotel developer making a deal through his representatives, okay? So Bill Carr, the hotel developer, made a deal with Mayor Mike Thomas that was illegal on video at a council meeting. Bill Carr's representative was another county commissioner. Yeah, Robert Carroll is the engineer of record. Robert Carroll, commissioner, was the one addressing the Panama City Beach City Council on behalf of Bill Carr, who owns the accounting firm. Watch.
You voted for that, even though it would benefit you financially? I voted for it because when I saw it was going to pass, like the others did, I saw an opportunity to take some of the traffic off Front Beach Road. And I made a deal with the developer that he would put a road from that project through his property to Back Beach Road. I was fairly proud of that.
Yeah, that's right.
If I was a liar today, I was probably one to you 4 years ago. And there's nothing I will change to make that happen. And we're all on the idea that that's okay. But was it illegal for Mayor Thomas to swap his deciding vote, a quasi-judicial hearing, with the hotel developer to exchange for a road to reduce traffic at his diner? Was it illegal to swap my vote? I didn't swap my vote. That was a very good swap. I'm proud of that swap. But I think it makes for a better project, and it certainly helps that end of the beach with traffic. I made a statement that you heard a while ago. A resident that lives up behind there asked if that traffic, their 800-bed addition to a church camp that was just built there. There's an 15 to 18-story building, 21-story that could have been in front of it. And there was a question about traffic. And I was explaining to that person that asked if we could put a road out to the back, that we could not do that.
They own property that goes all the way to Back Beach. Is there consideration of having a road that comes to the Shalimar Road, taking that road all the way into the Back Beach to 98, making that a little exclusive for them? That way it takes off the traffic off of the back roads, and it seems like it just concentrated right there onto that intersection. There's already a curb cut there for that. But just consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I make one?
But let me say something before we go to anyone else. It is against the law for this council to consider traffic congestion in this development or any development on the beach or any development in the state of Florida.
Not Bill Carr of Carr, Riggs and Ingram, but Jose and Derwin. Jose is the manager for Bill Carr, and Derwin was the contractor that had been chosen to do that project for the 800-bed addition. We're sitting just to the left of the podium. And when the man said it, and I said we couldn't do anything, Derwin and Jose were talking back and forth to each other, and Derwin looked up at me and said, do it. Just like that.
All the incentives there, if they're willing to go ahead and cut a road in from Back Beach Road. That's the motion.
Can we?
But we have to find out if there's some buy-in. I don't know.
I don't know that we can do that.
I think it would.
Well, I just saw a nod earlier where they said that they were willing to do something from Back Beach Road.
But our code.
My concern is that I'm not sure if DOT or we control the access point there. I don't know if we have the ability to approve that or if that's subject to DOT, and we can't condition our approval on a permit they have to get from another agency.
What about the gentleman's agreement, though? I mean, I'm just saying it's an important issue to me. That's the only way.
Quasi-judicial hearing.
We don't require them to apply to DOT or the proper authorities, but I'm certain.
I mean, there's more things that can be done. A bridge can be put over the area. You can do a bridge versus petitioning for the wetland area.
They already have access.
Okay, well then.
I just wanted to clarify something. They own all the way to Back Beach Road, but they also own the storage yard. That storage yard does have an access, so they already have access to Back Beach Road. The real condition is whether or not they can get a dredge and fill permit to go across the wetland.
Or go across it.
Well, again, it's a dredge and fill no matter what.
And I understand that. I mean, if you can't get a permit, then it kind of makes that void. But
Robert, you feel like you get a dredge and fill permit to do that?
I think we could get a dredge and fill permit, but I think that we would need to be at 220 to justify the units for the traffic.
Just so you know, that is County Commissioner Robert Carroll. County Commissioner Robert Carroll is representing Bill Carr, who is the hotel developer that also owns Carr, Riggs, and Ingram, that Griff Griffitts just said, did an audit and said that everything was on the level. No, it's not. There's $8.7 million. But can you believe the county commissioner is addressing the Panama City Beach City Council on behalf of a hotel developer? Robert Carroll is the engineer of record, not only for that project, but for the city of Panama City Beach.
Because we already have it 150, so to get to 170.
Folks, he's got a right to an opinion just like you did.
So if that would be a condition, we would ask you to be at the 220. So because then the added traffic that we're concerned about is what would be relieved. So we're already allowed the 150. So
I guess that motion probably goes back to. So, but that's what I've got.
That's not swapping a vote. We were offered an amenity to me to a project. And I think it was a good addition. That road, when you dump all of that traffic, plus whatever other property he's got back there to develop, I think would have caused a traffic problem in that area. The residents that live around there were glad to see it happen. And I think it was a good change for that city. The vote was not over. That was the next question. Where was that? Can a mayor leverage a deciding vote during a quasi-judicial hearing based on the contingent of a traffic mitigation condition that was not included in the motion already voted on by the rest of the council?
all right, so I'll make a motion to approve at 185 with the landscaping removed and only the public benefits of the sidewalks, the public restrooms, skyline features, and the ground base. The sidewalk covered by permanent arcade.
We have a motion.
Second.
What you are about to see is unbelievable. Two people will vote yes to swap a road for a vote right after they said it was illegal to do so. Two people will vote yes to swap a road for a vote for a height incentive. And that will leave it to Mike Thomas alone at the end to make the final call. And as he's sitting there, he negotiates with Bill Carr's people, who owns Carr, Riggs, and Ingram, the accounting firm that Griff Griffitts said, just it says, you know, there's no money missing. Watch this. Mike Thomas is now the deciding vote, or he will be. It's going to be 2-2. Mike will be the deciding vote.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk?
Councilman McConnell,
Yes.
Councilman Solis,
No.
Councilman Casto,
Yes.
Councilman Chester,
No.
Mayor Thomas.
Merry Christmas. I have said before, I disagree with all incentives. I think they're all crazy and I think they're all unenforceable. But today they are enforceable. I know that you can give an answer. Can you get an exit to Back Beach Road with that? You'll exit at Back Beach Road. I vote yes.
Until the vote's over, it's not over. And anytime somebody offers something, I can take that into consideration. And I did, and I still think it was a good deal. Was the developer on the hook to provide more traffic mitigation than required by law, or else be denied the height? He offered it, we took it. People can offer things in a development order, and we have the right to take it. And it happens every day in every vote anybody does. I didn't get paid for my vote. It was a legal vote, and it helped my community, and I'm not ashamed of that. Was it a quid pro quo? If so, is it legal in that context? I don't know what that means. Was it extortion? It was offered to me, and I took it. I did not extort it.
Offered to me.
You can give an answer. Can you get an exit to Back Beach Road with that? You'll exit at Back Beach Road. I vote yes.
Was it pay to play? I.e., the developer pays to build a new road that reduces traffic. Now, why would anybody want to reduce traffic to their restaurant? That makes no sense whatsoever. It reduced traffic to a neighborhood and a community behind there that was concerned. Every complaint I got about this development was because of traffic.
Not consider traffic in any of our deliberations. And I'm not being ugly to anybody. That's a fact.
Yeah, it makes me sick, but that is very true. That's what I was going to bring up as well.
Okay.
And that's what I was thinking about trying to help. And I think we did. Was it a conflict of interest considering the benefits his diner would receive? I don't think my diner would receive any from the road. I was asked, and I responded to most anybody. When they asked if I thought that would help my business, I said, I certainly hope so. Anytime somebody builds a business, it's going to help somebody. That road being there or not being there has nothing to do with whether I make a living or not. The hotel being there, yes, it'll make a difference. Anytime there's a business somewhere, you're going to make more money. Everybody knows that. You do not have to be a genius to do that. And let me tell you, the hotel being there, yes, it'll make a difference. Anytime there's a business somewhere, you're going to make more money. Everybody knows that. You do not have to be a genius to do that. And let me tell you, whether you agree with the answer or not, I think I'm legally right to be able to do those things.
The attorney
He has
is
not told me that I did something wrong.
the attorney is stressed
I
out.
think she was the one there that time. I'm legally right to be able to do those things.
Look at Cole
He
Davis.
has not told me that I did something wrong, or Amy didn't. I think she was the one there that time.
He's stressed out. So that is the deal that Mike Thomas struck with Bill Carr, the hotel developer, through County Commissioner Robert Carroll, who was representing Bill Carr. And this is also incestuous, but it is what Griff pointed to say that the $8.7 million is not missing. Bill Carr, Carr, Riggs and Ingram, they checked it. They're our accounting firm. And I showed you the article by Carr, Riggs and Ingram that said an annual audit, only 4% of the time would ever find fraud. It only audits samples of a budget, and it probably didn't even look at the Builder Services Fund. But there is a forensic audit that did in an active class action lawsuit. And it shows at least $8.7 million are missing when Griff Griffitts was the chairman right after Hurricane Michael. And I've shown you that Griff Griffitts said in the News Herald that they could take the money out of there and leave an IOU. This is from a News Herald article, September 18, 2019. This is a very big deal. And it is the biggest cover-up that I know of in Bay County right now. And Griff Griffitts is running for office against Brian Cloudis. And the news outlets aren't talking about it. Now, is that something or is that something? Speaking of Brian Cloudis, it seems like a pretty damn good time to show his paid political ad.
While getting to know the residents of Bay County, I observed a pattern of complaints about corrupt career politicians, people born into politics, buying their way into politics, and creating self-serving policy for themselves, their families, and their friends. It's time to shake things up and get an America First patriot in office, one who is for the people and of the people.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome.
All right. I am going to one more time show you the video that I started with today, where now that you have all of that context, let's take a look again. I've got to pull it up. We're going to take a look at Griff's answer when he was asked about the missing money. I'm going to show you that video. Let's switch over to that screen. This was his answer a month ago.
Mr. Griffitts.
Yeah, another question. I appreciate being directed towards me. I will tell you that don't believe everything you read online. With a lawsuit, there's two sides to every story, right? I encourage you to get on the Bay County Clerk of Court's website. Every audit from Bay County is on that website. It's done by Carr, Riggs and Ingram, one of the largest accounting firms in the southeastern United States. They didn't find an 8.
Also, the hotel developer. You left that part out, Griff. Also, the hotel developer. Bill Carr owns Carr, Riggs and Ingram.
$1 million misappropriation. So I'd encourage you to get on there and check that out and not believe everything you read. We have a very, very fiscally sound county. We borrowed $300 million after the hurricane and didn't raise a single tax on the citizens of Bay County. We're still the 7th lowest property tax in the state. That's something I'm pretty proud of. So for us to be accused of fiscal misappropriation is absolutely hogwash. I encourage you to really do your homework. Go talk to the clerk of court. Come to the county offices. Ask them to see the paperwork. I promise you, you won't find that. Thank you.
You have additional time if you'd like it.
All right. Thank you.
I think things like this happen because I think people are in politics for the wrong reason. I think that people are handpicked in our district. And I think, unfortunately, typically people don't have true campaigns. So from day one, my goal was to campaign like there was no tomorrow, because I knew what I was facing as an underdog candidate. And, you know, the hopeless romantic in me likes to think that sometimes people come into politics with the right reasons and with a heart. But I think there is tons of local corruption. And I think if we're going to sit here and say there's not, I think we are fooling ourselves. That's the reason I'm running. Because when I was a volunteer with the Republican Party here, I heard over and over, every door I knocked on, there was deep-rooted, deep-seated corruption in this district. You need outsiders to break up the corruption. You need people who are not born and bred into the system to come in and apologetically shake things up. No one ever came to me and told me it was my turn to run for office or I needed to run. I felt it in my heart, and I saw the people of Bay County wanting someone that would come in here unapologetically and shake it up. And you have to ask the hard questions. We don't need people who are going to say yes to everything. We need people who are going to ask questions, fight, and unapologetically put the people of Bay County first.
Thank you.
All right. So now you pretty much have the story. The $8.7 million, a forensic audit in an active lawsuit, shows that it's missing. Nobody in the county can say where it went. All they can say is our accounting firm, the county, Carr, Riggs, and Ingram, they do an annual audit. They didn't find anything. Carr, Riggs, and Ingram wrote an article in 2020, that accounting firm, that said annual audits aren't for that. Annual audits only sample a portion of the budget of the finances, and it doesn't find that kind of stuff, especially if the owner of the accounting firm is also, at least it raises questions, a hotel developer that makes deals with these guys during meetings like I showed you tonight. Please help me get this word out. This is important stuff. There's evidence that there's something very wrong here. And the news outlets do not want voters to know about this. And that is how people say, how do we get these guys? How do these guys get reelected? It's because of the collusion between the PR firms that are public-private partners that call themselves local news outlets and these local governments. Pretty powerful stuff, isn't it? And you would never have known this. You would never have known this if we didn't tell you. And I can do that because I work for you. And if you would like to support my efforts, here's how you can do it. You can become a patron. It's called crowdfunding. And you can send a tip every month as little as $5. It's anonymous. It's easy. And you can quit at any time. Patreon.com/Bernie Thompson. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, I hope you will. It's also live on YouTube. And I don't do as much on YouTube, and I sure would like to grow that channel. And so I can help so I can get the message out a little bit more. And also, as always, I want to thank the Unknown Patriot for the support and all the sponsors for supporting my efforts to tell you the truth. All right, that's all I got for you tonight. Unbelievable, isn't it? Will you share it? Will you tag your friends? Will you get the word out? The election, people are voting today. People are voting now. The election ends on August 23rd. This is a very close race. The establishment is worried sick because Brian Cloudis came out of nowhere and has friends like James O'Keefe at Project Veritas and is determined to help clean Bay County up. And he will be our state representative if enough Bay County residents and voters know that the other guy was the chairman on the county commission about a year after the hurricane, said, we'll put an IOU, take money out of the Builder Services Fund. Forensic audit says there's $8.7 million missing. Nobody will answer where it's at. We don't know where $8.7 million is at. That candidate should be asked about this. The forensic audit should be, if I was him, I would take the forensic audit out of the lawsuit and say, look for yourself. But he can't do that for many reasons, but mostly because the damn money's gone. And every voter should know about it. Shame on the news outlets. I'm more mad at them than I am Griff. I expect it from them. I expect grifters to grift. I expect local politicians to do this kind of stuff. I even expect the contractors and the developers to try to bribe them. I'm talking about in an overall context. This is what happens. Big developers all over the country, county after county, city after city, try to bribe local politicians. But it's the local politicians that have the public trust. Those are the ones that are responsible. But you know what? Who else has public trust? Two other entities. One, news outlets. They've got public trust. And they're violating it by hiding this from you to help him because they're public-private partners. Also, the sheriff has public trust. The state attorney has public trust. What are they saying about this? They both endorsed Grifter. How's that possible? The voters deserve answers. And if the sheriff's investigated it and found out that the money got put back, tell us. The local prosecutor, state attorney Bassford, has found out that his buddy Griff Griffitts, who we endorse, has put the money back. Tell us. We deserve to know. Public trust encompasses all of the media, the politicians, law enforcement, prosecutors. This is important information. I've shown it to you. And I'm asking that you'll let everybody else know. All right. I do want to thank also Americans for Prosperity. If you're looking for a way to contribute to a even more free Florida, AFP Florida is a great place to do it.
Americans for Prosperity is the largest grassroots organization advancing policies that help people improve their lives. AFP Florida seeks to end corporate welfare, expand energy options, and reform education and healthcare by giving people more choices. Sign up today and volunteer at americansforprosperity.org.
Thank you so much for being with me, and I will see you soon.